Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're joining me this afternoon. My name is Dr. Obioramba Iboweze, reaching you from Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University. Today's date is Afo, Market Day, in the 10th month of the Igbo lunar calendar, called Onwa Okike. How sweet it is. The 10th month of the Igbo lunar calendar in our land is called Onwa Okike. Actually, Onwa Okike began last Nkwode, which was Friday, which was the 1st of November. That was when Onwa Okike started. And today's date in the Roman Catholic calendar is November 4th, 2024. Remember, at Nkolo Mahadum, we always advise you to use your naturally given common sense to evaluate all the issues before you make a decision. And if every other media in the United States or North America, Europe, India, Middle East, and others present their issues, how it will benefit them. The same way at Nkolo Mahadum, we also package lectures and present them to you from Biafran and African perspectives. How you should be saying things, how you should be interpreting things, especially those that affect you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter and Facebook, like our lecture, comment, and share to everybody. Because, you know, Nkolo Mahadum is an university where you come to learn. It's for everybody. The title of today's lecture is Lessons from the Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting in Apia, Samoa, from October 21st to 26th, 2024. And you know, Samoa is a small Polynesian. When you say Polynesian, it just means the language, their type of language. Samoa is a Polynesian island nation in the South Pacific Ocean. It's a small nation in an island in the South Pacific Ocean. It is located halfway between Hawaii and New Zealand, and has a population of 196,130 people. As you can see, it's a very, very small island. And that was where they held this meeting. This meeting was actually the 27th of such meetings of the Commonwealth Heads of Governments meeting. And before we continue, we have to give you the origin, how the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting started. It actually originated with leaders of self-governing colonies of the British Empire. So all the colonies that the British have ruled are all in this meeting. And the first colonial conference was held in 1887. And it's made up of the one they call dominions, colonies, protectorates, mandates, and others. So all parts of the world, anywhere that Britain has control of their land, all are participants in this meeting. And as we speak today, about 56 countries make up the Commonwealth Head of Government meetings and comprises countries from Africa, Asia, the Americas, Europe, and the Pacific. And so you can see that the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting just comprised of all the nations now that are artificially independent. They don't have true independence. And so what interested us at Nkolomadum is the speech given by King Charles III in that meeting at Samoa. And before we get to what he said, we will also advise you again to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our program, like our lecture, comment, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and share. Because all the lectures we are packaging for you is what you have to know. And so we analyzed the last paragraph from the speech delivered by King Charles. And it goes as follows. For my part, said King Charles, I can assure you today that for however many years God grants me, I will join you and other people of the Commonwealth on every step of this journey. Let us learn from the lessons of the past. Let us be proud of who we are today. And together, let's forge a future of harmony with nature and between ourselves that our children and grandchildren deserve. The last paragraph is ended. So looking at that last paragraph, what he said, I can assure you today that for how many years God grants me, I will join you and other people of the Commonwealth on every step of this journey. Why wouldn't he? The Commonwealth was a creation of the British. They are still holding those territories. So that statement shouldn't have been in that speech, but he made it anyway. The second thing he said is, let us learn from the lessons of the past. What are the lessons of the past? The lessons of the past is that the British government or the British people at that time left their land to all these colonies, all these areas, all these countries to fight wars with them, to defeat them, to kill their people. Those are the past, apart from the slavery. And then you colonize them, and then you give them flag independence. Those are the past. And even now, you are still indirectly in charge of those territories. He said, let us be proud of who we are for today. What are we? We are only what you made us to be, what you wanted us to be. You don't want us to be whom we are. And the last paragraph, and the last sentence says, and together, let us forge a future of harmony with nature and between ourselves that our children and grandchildren deserve. Yes, nature is there naturally There's nothing you can do about it. What is important is the relationship between human beings in this world. Human beings are the one that kills, they are the one that saves. So the relationship between these colonies, these other people, these nations in the Commonwealth, which you are overseeing, your relationship with them tells a lot, very important. How you treat them, very, very important as equal human beings. If humans are really equal, then your relationship with these nations that are attending this conference should be on equal basis. Remember, the above last paragraph that was contained in the King Charles III speech was in response to the demand of the people that came to that meeting that Britain should pay reparation for involving in transatlantic slave trade. But King Charles fell short of that. He didn't mention that. And we at Commonwealth, in addition to demanding for reparation for the transatlantic slave trade, if the king is saying that let us learn from the past of the colonies, what the colonies see from the past and even to the present is the wars that Britain brought to those colonies in those days. The artificial boundaries that they created, the colonization, the neo-colonization currently going on, and the autocracy, the autocratic nature of government. And so these are the demands that when next you attend that Commonwealth heads of government, this should be your demands for Britain to pay reparation for transatlantic slave trade and to apologize for all the wars they brought to Africa and the killings, and even pay reparation for that. And then to dismantle all the colonial boundaries, which they are in charge, of which in those boundaries, a lot of people are being killed every day. Those artificial colonial boundaries have to be dismantled. And they should also pay reparation for colonization. And then the current neocolonialism should stop immediately. They shouldn't be far away in Britain and indirectly using puppets in these nations you call Commonwealth heads of governments that are in that meeting. And they should also democratize, make the Commonwealth a democracy. Because as it is right now, the Commonwealth is not a democratic institution. It's like whatever the king says, that's what goes. Because if there's democracy in the Commonwealth heads of government meeting, it should be by voting. Whatever the majority counts from the voting is what they will be using to be making decisions. But from the last meeting, it seems like it is the king's, whatever the king says, that's what everybody goes home with. It shouldn't be that way. And so because we said I'm going to be keeping all our lectures very, very short, I'm looking at the time. The takeaway from today's lecture is that the recently concluded Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Apia, Samoa, from October 21st to 26th, 2024, should have produced something better than what the outcome. The outcome is not very good. And remember, Samoa is just a Polynesian island, a very small island. Polynesian means their language, how they speak, in the South Pacific Ocean, halfway between Hawaii and New Zealand. Has a population of 196,130 people. And I've told you about the origin of the Commonwealth, made up of all the colonies, the protectorates, the dominions, all the areas being under the control of the British government, British Empire. They are all in this Commonwealth. And the first conference was held in 1887. 1887, how many African countries are independent? And that meeting is the 27th since its formation. And in the last speech, the last paragraph of the speech delivered by King Charles, is the third, is what we review today. And we are coming to the conclusion that in addition to paying for reparation for slavery, they should also pay for reparation for colonization and killings and dismantle all the artificial colonial boundaries in Africa, because every day people are being killed in those colonial boundaries by their puppets. And then the current new colonialism, where they use our people, give them gun to exploit and kill people on their behalf, should stop. And finally, there should be democracy in the Commonwealth. There's no democracy in the Commonwealth. Democracy, as we understood it, should be by voting. Whatever people voted, the majority of the votes is what they will use it to make decision. But in this case, it's like whatever the king says goes. It shouldn't be that way. It shows that the Commonwealth is autocratic. And with this, we shall be bringing today's lecture to an end. Thank you very much for joining me today, and have a great day.